Now, joining us to discuss more on this is a rights activist and a spokesperson, the Osun Masterminds, or that is Ayo Ologun. Mr. Ologun, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start this way. How concerned are you about the growing allegations of political intimidation, manipulation, violence, and even the arrests that we witnessed or recorded ahead of this August 15 governorship election?
Well, thank you very much. I think one major problem that has been bedeviling the political class in Osun is the problem of hypocrisy. When one party thinks that what he does and he expects that we are clear and will be applauded, if the other does it, it must be condemned. And this idea of trying to name every agency of government as being compromised just because an election is coming. We must remember that election will come and go. The integrity of our institution, the integrity of the system remains very sacrosanct. And that is why we cannot, because of one off election, begin to make a mess of all agencies of government or begin to make it look like the system of government is not functional. Yes, of course, there have been intimidation, there have been killings and maimings across the two major political parties, that is the Accord Party and the APC. Up till a few days ago, someone was still killed in Elisha, which was alleged to have been killed by members of the Accord Party. Just like the Accord is alleging the APC of killing, the APC is alleging the Accord Party of killing. And of course, the two claims are very viable. So one should not make it look like, oh, it's one party against the other. The two parties are doing injustice to themselves because of course, this election is a three-horse race between the Accord Party, the APC, and the ADC. But majorly, it is between the Accord and the APC. The two of them are culpable of the criminality and the maimings, the killings that is going on in Osun State. That is clear. And we're going over into the election. We must be clear to know that this election is one that will serve as a test for the 2027 general election. This is the last one of election before the general election of 2027. And whatever happens in this election will serve as a litmus test for whatever is being expected in the 2027 election. That is why all stakeholders across board are calling that every agencies of government, every representative of government, security, INEC, and the rest of them before today's election should do the best they have to do in ensuring that the right message is passed across, devoid of compromise, devoid of threats, and devoid of tainting by any of the agencies.
Ayo, let's even pick it from that point as regards what government institutions and security agencies must do. Of course, we understand that a peace accord has been signed, and according to reports, heavy security presence has been witnessed in Osun State as we speak. So with the Accord Party now and the APC trading blames and accusations, do you actually believe that this Osun State election is going to be credible and peaceful?
There are two different things. I am hopeful that the election of next Saturday would be peaceful. The credibility of the election has to do with two things, the facts and the perception. The fact is the fact in itself, but the perception that is trailing the election before and the perception that will trail the election after is what I'm concerned about. Now, election is just about 7 days away, and the two parties are already trading words on the INEC portal being hacked. So, which means that if care is not taken, whoever wins the election, if the Accord wins, the APC will accuse INEC of compromise, or perhaps that their portal has been asked to inflate figures for the Accord Party. Should the APC win, the Accord Party will accuse the APC of infiltration. They might even attach it to the president and say that the APC has used the federal might to win the election. So what is important is the perception. This is what I'm concerned about, because we are not going to be sending the right message to the international community if we continue to demonize and criminalize every agency of government just because things do not go our way. The Accord Party and the APC should know that irrespective of whatever the outcome of the election will be next Saturday, the sacrosancy of the integrity of the INEC and that of every other agency of government involved in that election is very important. That is why they cannot afford to continue to raise false alarm. For God's sake, INEC has not come out to say that his portal or his whatever is under attack.
To ensure now, Ayo,
the ones claiming.
Ayo, to ensure integrity and protect the sanctity of these institutions, how should INEC, security agencies, even these political parties, how do you think they should manage this so-called toxic and tense atmosphere without escalating tensions in the states?
I have attended stakeholders meeting with the INEC, with the police, and my suggestion remains one. Look, one of the problems that we've often witnessed in election is information being shrouded from the populace. People not being properly carried along in every bit of events. In this case, that we're having accusation by the APC and the Accord Party on accounts being invited, accounts being assembled to attack INEC portal and the like, the INEC needs to come out immediately after now to tell us what the status of their website is, what is the status of their system, what is the status of their facility ahead of the election. They need to assure the people that, look, our system is not under attack. Our system is not capable of attack. We are doing our best to ensure that no infiltration is allowed on our website or on our campaign portal. That is key, so that people will know that contrary to allegations by the APC and the Accord, the INEC portal is one that is strong and is not penetrable. That's number one. Number two is the issue of security. The major challenge in this election is the issue of security. And it's one that needs to be properly managed. If we militarize this election more than is necessary, I live in Osogbo. Hardly can you drive a kilometer in Osogbo since the last few days before you meet 2-3 checking points. It's even worse at night because those checking points becomes points of extortion. So if days before the election, checkpoints have become points of extortion, with the signal you are sending to the voters is that on the day of election, they are not safe. And that in itself will cause voter apathy. So as much as we need deployment of the police and the civil defense to ensure a peaceful election, the security forces need to also be mindful of the psyche of the people who might feel threatened, who might feel over-militarized, such that they will prevent themselves from presenting themselves to do their civic right on the day of election, thereby having the least of us elect whoever will lead Osun State going forward by August 15th.
All right, Ayo Ologun, thank you so much for giving your thoughts, sharing your thoughts with us on this particular conversation. It's something we're going to dwell on, of course, from now up until next week, Sunday. All eyes are on, of course, the Osun State election come August 15. Thank you so much.